Alcatraz was an island where no one wanted to end up, and if you were there, you couldn't escape. The strong currents and freezing water wouldn't let you. Notorious men have spent years between the walls in small cells. Men like Mr. Al Capone, also known as Scarface.
Say hello to my little friend!
Now times have changed, and today hordes of people visit the prison island every day. And I would like to bring you to.
Good morning everyone, day 2 in San Francisco, and we are going to Alcatraz Island.
Yes.
Once a fortress, then a military prison, and then a federal prison, and then it got abandoned.
Fill it up with lies from the world every day that the Lord God is not, that He's weak, that He's powerful.
On our way to Alcatraz, we prefer walking over public transportation because it is much more fun. The diversity of people you can meet is enormous, making it not boring.
That's a nice rooster, what is it?
Thank you. He's a silky, he's a Chinese rooster.
Does he bite?
Everybody, he didn't bite me. Me, I can come in and just come on.
That's a great pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my best friend in the world. Yeah, if I have music, he dances to the music too.
That's great. Well, have a good day. They're expanding. So for those who want to visit Alcatraz Island, apparently very popular destination. We didn't make a reservation. Today's Saturday, and he said the earliest that there's space to go to the island is on Monday. So we're gonna book the tickets online, and I guess we continue this video on Monday. So attempt number 2, we're going to Alcatraz. First we have a nice breakfast.
Finally, with a reservation, we were good to go. There are just 1.5 miles between us and the prison now, and the ride is totally worth it. The view over the bay and Golden Gate Bridge, and eventually the island from up close, magnificent. It's funny how I managed to bring Guia to an island she had never heard of.
I have no idea what kind of island it is. You're gonna put this in the video, right?
Yeah, of course.
For me, it's all childhood memories of a kind. I used to play Tony Hawk, and one of the levels was right here on the island. Not to mention all the related movies I've seen.
It was a prison. So why it stopped being prison?
I believe it was too expensive to maintain.
Why? Because it's an island?
Maybe less criminals, or there are more cost-efficient places on the mainland.
I really love the abandoned building structures. That's what I like about it. It's like very aesthetic.
And it's breeding season, so all the birds are breeding.
Our visiting time is more than perfect, if you are into birds, because there are birds everywhere. We were in the middle of the breeding season, and it honestly was more impressive than the prison itself, at first sight. Thousands of birds inhabiting the island. Their ancestors go way back, probably before any man set foot on the island.
Really young baby there. Throughout the city there's so many Koreans. They're everywhere. And now in Alcatraz you don't see any. Is it something you guys are not interested in? Am I making the wrong video here?
No, that's why you're making the right
That's why they
video.
go. They know iGoBart is going to make a video on Alcatraz, so
Yeah,
we
so
don't
they-
have to visit.
We have two kinds of gulls, Western gulls and California gulls. They look very similar, they're about the same size. They live up to 30 years. They mate
30 years?
Yeah. They mate for life, and they come back to the same place to mate and lay their eggs every year.
Every year.
So we have portions of the island that are closed off to provide them with space, but they insist on going to places where we're open. But when you hear them squawking at you like that one was a little while ago, they're protecting their nest.
So it must have been a horrible place to stay as a prisoner.
Why? They have nice view. We didn't get the view.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. This is why we came. So we're gonna do the audio tour. I have an English one, here's a Korean one.
Let me start with a fun fact. Al Capone, the notorious gangster, played banjo in the inmate band. How is that for a mob boss? And if you wonder if anyone ever escaped, well, 36 inmates have put the escape-proof Alcatraz to the test. However, 23 were captured, 6 were shot to death, and 2 drowned. The other 5 went missing and were presumed drowned, but who knows if they survived. Not all was bad though. Alcatraz first warden, James A. Johnston, knew poor food was often the cause of prison riots, so he served the inmates good food.
Interesting,
They
huh?
organized a really interesting audio tour. It's
Oh,
really
it was
nice.
so cool.
Yeah, imagine like all happenings and the real voices and the escape. That was really cool. And they make like a hole with a spoon, and they escape. It's so cool.
Yes, it's still the birds that impresses me most. If you see this, you might understand why.
Guys, the birds on Alcatraz are amazing. It's crazy. I'm not sure if you can hear me. It's so windy here. But with the Golden Gate Bridge, the birds, it's so cool.
Prisons are worlds on their own and quite intriguing to learn more about. So yes, Alcatraz is a popular tourist destination, but for good reasons. I guess that's it for today. See you next time in maybe the sketchiest neighborhood of San Francisco, Tenderloin.
Would you recommend people to walk around at night?
To walk around at night?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
See you in the next video.
Bye.
No, how to?
How